Hello and welcome to Midday Update. Coming up are the headlines for the day. Citizens urged to apply for elections registration in Oman. Establishment of international Olympic shooting clubs to help preserve Omani heritage. Shabab Oman II wins first place in sports competitions in Belgium. Hundreds protest draft constitution ahead of referendum in Tunisia. Gunmen kill 5 in central Nigeria, reports police. Death toll from Tripoli clashes rise to 16. World Athletics Championship, Neeraj Chopra grabs silver with 88.13-meter throw in 4th attempt. Imran Khwaja, Pankaj Khimji and Neil Spade elected as ICC Associate Member Directors. Those are the headlines. Now for the local stories for the day. The Ministry of Interior continues receiving applications for registration via the elections website elections.om for citizens who have not registered in the elections register for the election of members of the municipal councils for the third term. The Ministry of Interior had earlier urged citizens not registered in the elections register to apply for registration through the elections website and to ensure that their ID cards are provided with electronic attestation system. With the royal blessing of His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq, the Supreme Commander, comes the establishment of international Olympic shooting clubs as one of the sports, social and educational establishments under the supervision of Oman Shooting Association with the purpose of preservation of the cultural heritage and encouragement of national youth to practice this vital sport. International shooting sport is one of the Olympic sports exercised in most countries worldwide and is governed by the laws and regulations of the International Shooting Sport Federation and targets unified management of shooting competitions worldwide for the development of the sport. The establishment of these clubs aims to provide the national shooting team with the national youth of both genders to enable them to efficiently participate in the regional and international competitions and to build their characters in accordance with the instructions and teachings of Islam, besides training youngsters in the safe use of shooting weapons and for creation of clear systems for this sport. It also aims to expand the sports base and disseminate the concept of the international Olympic shooting at the level of the Sultanate. Vice Admiral Abdullah bin Khamis al-Raisi, Chief of Staff of the Sultan's Armed Forces, said that the royal blessing for establishment of international Olympic shooting clubs comes within the keenness of His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq for provision of the appropriate environment for this cultural heritage and is consistent with the regulations and laws followed to this effect. The establishment of the clubs represents an opportunity for upgrading the level and skills of shooters and is also an opportunity for selection of the youth capable of representing the Sultanate in the regional competitions. He added that the clubs are hoped to be the best place for the youth to exercise this sport. He also reaffirmed the keenness and care of the Sultan's Armed Forces for this sport in the form of local training programs and external camps and international and regional participations, which have resulted in achievement of excellent results that have contributed and added to the Sultan's status in the international arena. He also laid stress on the necessity for observing the instructions regulating the sport and the work of these clubs and employing all their facilities for the interest of the shooters. Major General Matar bin Salam al-Baluchi, Commander of the Royal Army of Oman and first Vice Chairman of Oman Shooting Association, congratulated SAF personnel and citizens for the royal blessing of His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq, the Supreme Commander, for the establishment of International Olympic Shooting Club in the Sultanate of Oman, which he said would meet the needs of the various sectors in the field of shooting, which in turn represents an original cultural heritage of the Sultanate. He said that the establishment of the clubs came on time and keeps abreast of the aspirations of the Sultan's shooters and the various levels. He said that the establishment of the clubs would motivate shooters to achieve high places in their participation in international championships. Major General Abdullah bin Ali Al-Harthi, Assistant Inspector General for Police and Customs for Operations and Second Vice Chairman of the Board of Oman Shooting Association, said that the establishment of the International Olympic private shooting clubs in the Sultanate would contribute to polishing the skills of the youth involved in the sport. The Royal Navy of Oman ship Shabab Oman II won the first place at the general level for sports competitions within the activities of the Long Sailing Festival 2022 at the port of Antwerp, Belgium. This came at the end of the march of crews of the sailing ships participating in the festival between the roads of the Belgian city of Antwerp before the start of the second stage of the Long Dhow race. Those are the local stories. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with international news. Stay tuned.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to Midday Update, now for the international stories. Hundreds of demonstrators gathered in central Tunis on Saturday to protest a draft constitution introduced by President Kais Saied. Tunisia will vote on the proposed charter on Monday. A year has passed and Saied has failed to manage the country and present a clear vision, Ennahda spokesperson Imad Khemiri told the crowd. Ennahda is Tunisia's main opposition party. The self-defined Islamist group is part of an anti-referendum coalition that organized Saturday's protests. The Tunisian people will deal a major blow to Saied on the day of the illegal referendum and will prove to him that it is not interested in its populist path, said Najib Shib, who is head of the coalition. Police were present at the protest, but there was no reports of violence. However, at least 10 people were arrested at anti-referendum demonstrations on Friday. Police came to the gathering with water cannons and riot gear. Officers reportedly roughly blocked protesters' passage as they moved toward a police barrier that was blocking the Interior Ministry building. A police officer said that the confrontation was prompted by people who purposely moved towards the ministry because they sought provocation. Mehdi Jalasi, head of the SNJD Journalists Union, received treatment after being sprayed in the face with tear gas, Jalasi told the news agency. Whether the constitution passes or not, our struggle will continue until the fall of this new tyrant, said Hama Hamami, head of the far-left Workers' Party. They said they were not afraid of prison, torture or death. If passed, President Saied's draft constitution would reduce the role of the parliament and judiciary by replacing the current mixed parliamentary system in the North African country. Unidentified gunmen on Thursday attacked a community in central Nigeria's Plateau state, killing 5 people, local authorities said on Saturday. The 5 victims belong to a family in the Fusa community in Jos East local government area of the state, police said in a statement, adding that frantic efforts were made to arrest the gunmen. The most populous African country has been hit by a series of armed attacks this year, which caused the death of civilians and security operatives. The death toll from clashes between 2 rival armed groups in the Libyan capital Tripoli has increased to 16 and the injuries to 52, the Libyan Ministry of Health said on Saturday. All the wounded are receiving medical care inside public and private hospitals in Tripoli, the ministry said on its Facebook page. Clashes erupted between 2 rival armed groups in different parts of Tripoli late Thursday and lasted until early Friday. The United Nations support mission in Libya on Friday expressed concern about the clashes and called on all Libyans to do everything possible to preserve the country's fragile stability at this sensitive time. Libya has been suffering violence and unrest ever since the fall of the late leader UNSMIL's regime in 2011. Those are the international stories. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with sports news. Stay tuned.
Oman's largest online supermarket, now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to Midday Update, now the sports news. Tokyo Olympic gold medalist Neeraj Chopra on Sunday clinched the silver medal in the men's javelin throw final at the prestigious World Athletics Championships in Eugene. Neeraj recorded a distance of 88.13 meters in his fourth attempt throw and secured the second position. The Olympic medalist started the proceedings with a foul throw, which was followed by 82.39 meters and 86.37 meters. It was finally in the fourth attempt when he recorded the distance of 88.13 meters, which put him in contention for the silver medal. The last two attempts by Neeraj went foul throws, and thus he ended up in the second position. The first position was held by defending champion Anderson Peters of Grenada, who recorded a distance of 90.54 meters. Neeraj also became India's first ever track and field athlete to take the silver medal in the World Championships and second to bag a podium finish after the legendary long jumper Anju Bobby George had finished third in the Paris Worlds in 2003. On the other hand, World Championships debutant Rohit Yadav finished at the 10th position after making attempts of 78.72 meters, 78.05 meters and 77.95 meters. Imran Khwaja, Pankaj Khimji and Neil Spate have been elected as ICC Associate Member Directors following an election process at the ICC Annual Conference in Birmingham, UK. In line with the Associate Members Meeting Terms of Reference, the voting was conducted at the formal Associate Members Meeting by way of a weighted secret ballot in which all voters, each voting Associate Member and each regional representative have 3 votes. Imran Khwaja and Neil Spate have both been re-elected as associate members, representatives on the board, with Pankaj Khimji replacing Mahinda Valapuram. Khimji is the chairman of the Oman Cricket Board and is a vice president of the Asian Cricket Council. ICC Chair Greg Barclay commented on the election, saying, "I would like to welcome the elected associate member directors onto the board for the next term. I look forward to working with Imran, Pankaj and Neil to continue to push the sport forward by delivering the strategy and growing the game so that people can enjoy cricket across the world." Those are the local, international and sports stories for the day. For more updates, stay tuned and keep watching TTV.
You've just heard the live feed from the TTV studios on TFM 95.4. Let's talk.